I'm gonna teach you how to cut your kids' hair. Now I'm only gonna teach you how to do the basic. Like we're gonna do a straight line across, maybe some soft layers. Let's hit it. So the easiest way to do it is we want the hair to be smooth and straight. This mannequin hair is a little bit kinky and a little bit wild. I think that's pretty normal for our kids. This might be as best as we're gonna do. So my go-to is if I put my hand underneath until I can see my actual hand is where I kind of want to cut it because it's translucent, that hair. So it needs to be cut based on that, okay? So we've got it nice and thick, and then it starts to get translucent to about here. So that's what we're gonna focus on cutting off. Now, the basics of hair cutting are zero elevation, meaning we're gonna keep it straight down. Once we start lifting that hair up, if we're cutting it, we're gonna create layers and we're not gonna be able to get that nice crisp bottom straight line, which most of the time with kids, they need that haircut for that straight line because it's that wispy baby hair that doesn't have any structure to it. So we need to keep it straight down. Another way to do this is if you flat iron your kids' hair so you have a very straight, perfect canvas to do it, or if their hair is wet, I'm gonna do it on this dry kind of kinky hair because I think this is the most relatable that we're gonna be able to do it. Maybe your kid's hair air dried and it's a little bit wavy, it's gonna be a little bit uneven. That's probably when our kid's gonna be like, sure, I want a haircut now. Not when we want it done. So we're gonna work with this. So I part the hair and comb it in its natural fall. So this mannequin is down the middle, kind of off to the side, and I'm just letting it fall exactly where it wants to. I'm not gonna change the part. Don't change your kid's part when you're doing this. Just let it fall where it wants to go. Okay. If your child has thick hair, we're gonna section it out, meaning we're gonna take half of this hair and tie it up and then work on the bottom first and then drop it down. I'm gonna start with that because the mannequin has quite a bit of hair. Don't worry too much about this sectioning, okay? Okay, so you're gonna stand in front of the hair. You're gonna use a comb it straight down. And we pinch our fingers in between just to keep it straight as we pull it down, okay? So that's where I'm gonna wanna cut it. Now, you're gonna wanna do this and cut it. Don't do that. Don't elevate it. Remember, keep it straight down. Okay. You can ask your kid to put their head forward. They probably won't. Okay, so comb it all the way down. Pinch it with those two fingers. Keep it straight down. Drop your comb. Or I put it in my hand like this. There's our section. Okay. Keep your scissors straight across. And snippity, snippity, snip. Right? We've got our first section right there. Now we're gonna go to the right and then to the left to finish it all off. Again, combing it all the way down. I'm gonna pull it up just to show you so we can see where we started that section. So now we just need to cut this little bit off, okay? Pull it down, see that section, cut it in a straight line. Pull it down, find that previous section, cut it in a straight line. And don't cut off hair that doesn't need to be cut. We're just following a straight line, pull it down, There's my section, and I'm just gonna go across. Okay. Now we have a much nicer, even bottom for our kiddo, okay? I'm actually gonna put a cape on so you can see better. Hold on. I think it might help. Ow! Let me show you this better. Okay, this shows it off a little bit better. Okay, so there is our straight line across. Now we're gonna drop down this top section and connect it. If there is anything to connect, if your kid has really thick hair. So again, we're gonna pull it all the way down, pinch it between our fingers. There's a few stragglers, and we're gonna cut straight across. And then continue along. If you feel like your kid's hair is very straight and you don't need to pinch it with your two fingers, don't. Just go across and follow that line as you go. Now we're gonna connect the sides. So here is the kiddo. We can see how this is on a little bit of an angle, and that's where we want to square it off. So we're going to take a little bit from the back, which is our guide, which is where we did that straight across, and we're just going to continue that line across. Now, when we're pulling it, it is going to go over our kid's shoulder, so it is going to be on a little bit of an angle going this way over the shoulder and not directly down like the back of the hair. That's fine. Don't worry about that. So we're pulling down. We can see this previous section and these longer bits. So we're gonna connect it. And now there is our guide to finish off. Pull it straight down. Snippity-doo-dah. Straight down. And then snip, snip, snip. So now we've got that nice crisp line all the way across. We're going to do the same to the other side. Another thing that you can do that might be a little bit easier for you is if your kid can, so they're this way, and then I'm going to have to use me as an example. So here's my shoulders. If I look over my left shoulder, then all of that hair is gonna fall down and not have to compete with my shoulder. And then you have more of a straight line going across if that's easier for you. So you're gonna get your kid to look straight ahead, shoulders are square, and then just move their head to the side so that all of this hair will fall down on this flat surface as opposed to trying to cut it on the shoulder. But it's our kid's hair, it's fine. We don't have to be too technical. Okay, so we're pulling it down. We can see that previous section here, and there's not a ton to cut, which is okay. Don't cut what doesn't need to be cut. I'm cutting across, cutting across. There we go. And now we have our crisp one length. We've trimmed up the bottom and it's literally taken 5 minutes, maybe 10. Okay, we can do this. If you want to add some face framing layers, I'm going to show you how to do it. okay? We want to have a little bit more movement in the front for a kiddo. If they have bangs, whatever, just leave them. I do not recommend you cutting your kids' bangs. You can try, but it always traumatizes us. So just start with the bottom, get that done, and then maybe go to a stylist to get them to cut their bangs. It shouldn't be very expensive, like, I don't know, $10 or something, but we've all been traumatized by our moms cutting our bangs too short, okay? Actually, I'm gonna show you how to cut the bangs. Okay, so face framing. We're gonna take a little section in front of both sides. And then this is our guide, meaning this is where we're gonna start to connect from the as short as we want the one point down to the side. And I remember I told you, don't elevate the hair. We're gonna elevate it. We're gonna do what I said not to, so that it's nice and soft. So I'm gonna pull it out at like a 45-degree angle, find out where I want it flat, and then pull it out. And I'm just gonna like chip into it, meaning I'm just gonna do little jagged angle snips as opposed to straight across. So there's our guide. Now we need to connect this bottom corner up there. So this is where I would get your kid to kind of turn their head over their shoulders. And you can even just air cut it on an angle to connect, because what we're doing is getting rid of this corner section to make it face framing, or you can put it in your hand. So you can see this section and just little snips to start connecting it, or you can start from the bottom up. So there I am from the bottom up. And again, just start little. There we go. Just a nice little scoopy scoop. And we'll do the other side. So if you just wanted to do it without sectioning, like if you're gonna section it right, you take your hand, you're gonna pinch the hair, and you're just gonna take little snips as you go down. If you don't wanna do that, if your kid's still enough and you wanna freehand cut it, this is how I would do it. Just little snips all the way down. And there she's got some face framing bits. And this is the basic cut, straight across, a little bit in the front. That's all our kids really need. That's it.